What is up, boys and girls? I am coming to you with my bike this time. I've been posting videos on my son's GT, but this is my 2019 Felt Dispatch 9 29er mountain bike hardtail, and I am really enjoying being back in mountain biking after taking a break. Anybody that has kids knows once they get into sports and other recreational activities, it just takes up all your time. I was having a really hard time finding time to ride my 2011 Trek Rumblefish, and before getting this bike, I had been kind of a Trek fanboy. I had a Fuel, I had the Cobia hardtail 29er made by Gary Fisher, and then I had upgraded to his inspired full suspension Rumblefish in 2011, and I love all their bikes. They're very well made. AG's is my local bike shop. They have great customer service. They answer all my questions. They were very patient with me, and I decided to get back into riding, and I was on a bit of a budget. We had just gotten into a new house and such, so I was looking around at some of the Excaliburs, and the sales rep had directed me towards this Felt, and they were very comparable. The difference was my local shop had this bike, which lists on the website for like $10.49, I think it is. They had it on sale for $8.99, and boy, do you get a lot for the money. First, the bike comes in at around 32 pounds for the large frame. Nothing unusual for an outright bike for me, and I'll tell you, it doesn't feel its weight on the trail. So I'll walk you through some of the good stuff. First up front, you got the RockShox Silver Authority Solo Air. Pretty standard. What you got here is you got rebound, lockout, air chamber, and that's pretty much about everything that you'll see on the Solo. I love RockShox. I had front RockShox on both the last two bikes that I mentioned from Trek, and a Fox rear. They did put really nice Maxxis Ardent 29 by 2.25 tires. These things bite and roll fast. I really am glad that they went with a really good tire for this bike. I think it just makes a huge difference. I don't know if this is their brand as far as the Alex rim. I haven't had any time to do research on them, and honestly myself, I've never heard of them, but everything that I've ever had as far as Trek is Bontrager, so take that with a grain of salt. Tapered steer tube. I think it's 720 millimeter, and I'll tell you, I don't want to change anything on this bike. For me, the cockpit, everything they put on it is perfect for me. The Shimano Dior came on the bike. I know that my cable here is just blocking, but they work great. I think my last two bikes had SRAM components, and I'm really enjoying the Shimano. It's a very different feel. The SRAM lock up hard, and the Shimano you can modulate and lock up easily without as much force, I want to say. The only thing I did change, I took the felt grips off. I had read reviews. My problem is my palm on the outside gets tired after riding for so long, and these are supposed to support those. And after 2 rides, I want to say that they do their job, but be mindful, these are very tacky, very grippy. My gloves really stick to these, so sometimes if I'm trying to move around a little bit to reposition myself, I find that I'm actually sticking to the bike too much. And as you can see, I love this color. I had a burnt orange on the Cobia before. This is much brighter. As you can see, their saddle, I think this is their components. I did swap out for a Ascend dropper post. I am new to the dropper post game. Didn't have it back when I was riding, or it was new technology and kind of laughable if it was back then. So this thing works really good. You can kind of see I just routed it underneath with the other cables and So far so good. Basically, I don't use it for the main ride. I do a lot of cross-country riding, but when I get to some of the fun stuff, I do drop it down so that I can try to get a little crazy, but obviously nothing too extreme. They come with the SRAM NX front crate. I believe it's a 1x10. And then the Dior rear derailleur. And this thing is quiet and has very little chain slap. So again, this is just set up really well. I did put a race face sleeve on there, and you can see I kind of put the little patch on there and then zip tied it to keep it from sliding back, because as you can tell, it's tapered and it's just going to slide back and it'll leave this part exposed. So yeah, it's a little rigged, but hard to see from far away. And the other thing that I did is I put one right here to protect the frame, just a little patch, nothing much, and then right here as well to protect the frame. And then I found these on Amazon, and I can put a link here. They're little rubber things that you can put on to the cables to keep them from rubbing on the frame, so you don't have to put stickers on the bike. So hopefully you can see that. I did one over here as well. But you know, all in all, I'm loving this bike. It rolls fast. It's a lot of fun to ride. There are some times on some of the paths that I ride over there at Pocahontas where I would like to have that rear suspension to absorb some of the bumps, but it does encourage me when I'm hitting that part to get up and use my legs more, so probably makes me less lazy. But I really do love this bike. I am going to post a video soon where my son was following me riding it, and then I will, oh, and for the folks that care about platform versus clip, yes, I do ride clipped in. I've always ride clipped in. I enjoy it. I can get out of them fast. I have no issues getting out of them when I need to bail, which is not too often, thank goodness. But my son is learning on platform, so I don't know if he'll go clipped in. But if you're looking for a bike that comes just loaded with good components at a great price, man, Felt knocked it out the park in my opinion with this one. Definitely check it out. I highly recommend it. I've enjoyed it. I loved it. Big shout out to the guys at AG's for turning me on to this bike with my budget. Man, I appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'll post plenty of riding videos, and I will do reviews of the components in more depth and provide links for you guys that are interested. Signing off. Have a good one.